Hi there, I'm Casey. Welcome back, and you made it to the final step of Jumpstart Planning Your Wedding. Today in step 5, we're going to talk about choosing your planner. And I guess I know this might seem a little weird because I am a planner and it might sound like I'm trying to pitch to you. And I'm really not. I do wholeheartedly believe that having a wedding planner help you through this process is time and money well spent. But I will say that sometimes people don't have it in their budget, and that's okay too. And I wanted to just go over the many different options that are out there to help you plan your wedding so that wherever you are on the spectrum and the scale, that you can get some resources to help you make good, educated decisions so that you're making good choices when you're planning your wedding. So there are 4 main categories that kind of come into play when you're considering a planner. Most planners, myself included, have the option of just hourly consultations. So maybe hiring the full-blown wedding planner isn't in your budget. That's okay. There's a lot of information out there and people want to share it. And you can schedule and just have like an hourly consultation when you need it. When you have specific questions or maybe you want an event planner to review a couple contracts, you can just hire them for that particular hour or 2 hours or however many hours it is, to ask your questions, get a game plan going, and then you can hit the ground running and really start doing all of the work yourself. So know that that's an option. Then the next step up from that is hiring what they call like a day of coordinator. And that actually is a name that can be kind of misleading because it's not really a day of. Very few planners, and actually I would be nervous if you actually hired a planner who admitted to being able to do this, could just show up the day of and plan your wedding. That's not a good thing, and don't hire a person that says they can do that. Really, the day of planning is something that's really more like a month of planning or 6 weeks before planning. And that's where you hire somebody to really come in after you've made all the vendor decisions, you've hired everybody, you kind of have a general idea of how your wedding's going to happen. But you know that when the day comes, you don't want to be the one that has to worry about if the flowers have been delivered or if the chairs have been set up properly, and you don't want to be the one that's putting all of the place cards on a table, that kind of stuff. You want to hire a planner to do all of that stuff for you. So that's a month of day of coordination. I personally think everybody should earmark some money in their budget for a person to do that kind of stuff. Even if they make all the other decisions themselves and hire all their vendors and all that kind of stuff, everybody, in my opinion, needs that day of coordinator, because I really do feel like when the bride or even family members are doing some of that event planning stuff, that it takes away from their experience and it turns it more into a job for them than a truly enjoyable, memorable moment, which is what it's supposed to be. So I'm a huge proponent, and yes, very biased, that everybody should at least have a day of planner to be a part of their wedding. Of course, if they can afford it. The next step up from that is sort of what we call like a custom partial planning package. So it's not a full service planning package where you literally from day one your planner walks you through every component of planning your wedding, guides you through every process, probably has monthly, if not bi-monthly, in-person meetings with you to make sure that we're staying on track and all of your needs are being met. But a custom partial planning package is where maybe you don't need help with the invitations and you don't need help with any of the event design, but you really want some help with your vendor selection. So you're going to hire a planner to help make sure that you're choosing a venue wisely, that you're hiring the right photographer, that you're working with the right florist, or maybe that at least you're interviewing some of the top people. And your planner knows those people because they work with them all the time. They've got their favorites. They will point you in the right direction of making sure that you're making good vendor selections. And let's be real, the vendors make or break the wedding. You want to make sure you're hiring a strong wedding vendor team to make sure that you're going to execute and create that day that you have in your head. They're just going to create the dream that you've been dreaming for the majority of your life. So a custom partial planning package is where you can kind of pick and choose the different components of the wedding planning package that you want, and it maybe isn't the full service experience. It's usually a little less than that, and it's a little more than the day of event. And then of course there's a full service thing, which is a whole enchilada, like I was saying before, and has all those different details. So that's kind of the spectrum of the planning package. I definitely consider that, like I said, I think you should consider having a planner be a part of your wedding in some way, shape, or form. But if for some reason it's not in the cards or it's not something that you really feel is worthy of investing in, still definitely stay in touch with different planners. Check out blogs like mine. Check out other resources that are out there on the internet. There's tons of them to make sure that you're educating yourself and you're kind of becoming a student, if you will, of the wedding industry so that you're making good decisions and you're ultimately going to have a wonderful wedding experience. So thank you so much for going through these 5 steps with me. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. Like I said, whether we work together formally or if it's just a couple questions here or there, I want to help you, and I want to make sure that you're having a wonderful time planning your wedding and ultimately creating the wedding of your dreams. So thanks for taking the time to watch all these videos. I hope you're feeling good about them, and I hope you've got some great takeaways and you're feeling empowered to go out there and start planning your wedding. Take care of yourself, and I hope to see you soon.